What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XRP today. It is the 20th day of November, and here we are sitting at about $2.01 with 7 hours and 15 minutes left in this day. Hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about the short-term stuff and the long-term stuff with XRP. Very, very immediate term, we're looking like we want to break below $2. It's very possible that we do. I wouldn't think that we hold this level for support. I would think that we break below $2 just because of the psychological significance, right? For whatever reason, a drop from 257 to 220 is more tolerable than a drop from 210 to $1.95 is, right? It's a lesser drop, but the psychological barrier that's breaking there, people, for whatever reason, we get this idea in our heads where it's like, as long as it's holding, we have these like conversations with ourselves, and people who are on the brink of selling, they're probably telling themselves, man, if it goes below $2, then I'll sell, because it's a psychological rounded number. Where if it stays above $2, then I'll hold, right? Whatever. If it goes below $2, I'll sell. People capitulate at moments like this, right? Last time that we did this, whenever we pierced just below $2, look at this. We went down as low as like $1.91, and then we found immaculate support right there. That was a capitulative moment as well. Oh, XRP will never go below $2 again. Damn, if it goes below $2, that's my signal that I'm out. For whatever reason, people do this, and I think it's the same thing here. I think that people are probably telling themselves this, and I'm focusing on this because I don't want to see you guys, the people who are watching this, I don't want to see you make the wrong mistake. The wrong, that's kind of redundant, right? The right mistake, the wrong mistake. I don't want to see you make a mistake and sell below $2, where it is debatably and logically probably the best time to buy XRP, if anything, right? We have an opportunity here. XRP going below $2 is not a problem, it's an opportunity. The problem is if you don't exact this opportunity, if you don't take this opportunity for what it is. The problem is if you fumble the bag on this opportunity, right? Do not panic sell, okay? Accept it, and probably by the time you watch this video, will probably be below $2. This is not a groundbreaking call. We're 1 cent above $2 right now, but I very much doubt that we hold this level for support. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, zooming in here, we are building volume as we're moving lower. We got a lot of volume here, and we haven't really gone anywhere, to be fair. So again, I think this is just a testament to what I'm saying, that yes, you have a lot of selling pressure, but it's not really taking you anywhere right now. I don't think we go too much further below $2, right? We look at the 1 hour RSI, there is bullish divergence there, which is nice to see. Maybe this next hour is the low, and then we come back up and we close it green to provide that this bullish divergence still upholds itself, and then we move higher. Maybe we get rid of the bullish divergence, and then we find support, and then we move higher. However it works, I do think that we go lower, though. The stochastics are bearish, and the MACD rejecting the zero, all bearish, all implying lower prices, okay? I want to see here. Let's just look at this real quick. Low to high, right to the golden ratio. It's perfect. Look at this. I love the serendipity. You found support here at this golden ratio right here, and you found resistance here at this golden ratio. Golden ratio support, golden ratio resistance. Might you go down to your golden ratio here and continue with the serendipity down down at about $1.90. $1.90, for those of you that don't remember, if you have a short-term memory, $1.90 is exactly where we found support last time, right there. It just might be. It might be. The fibs are serendipitous at times. This might be one of those moments where they are. There's a lot of significance down here at this level. Oh, oops, sorry. From this low to this high. It's not the most significant fib, but just the fact that you found resistance and support at both your corresponding golden ratio levels, maybe this is where we go. It's something to keep in mind, right? $1.90, $1.91, somewhere around there. The fact that we found support from this low to high at the golden ratio, maybe we find support at this golden ratio at $1.95. Somewhere between $1.95 to $1.90 sounds about right to me. If we take the more significant fib with this discernible low here to this discernible high here, come on, discernible low right there. The 1272 is encapsulated by this range that we've given. Could we go lower than $1.90? Sure. Could we go lower than this low from back in, was it May? Oh my God, way back here. June? Yeah, we can go below there. I don't know if we do. I'm not calling for that personally. I would think that we find support directly in this area. But yeah, we could go below $1.90. Even if we do, it's fine. I doubt that XRP goes below $1.80, okay? I doubt that we go below $1.80. That's my thoughts there. And really, maybe I should be taking this fib. Maybe I should be taking this fib. Let's just see. I think we should be taking this fib. And in which case, look at that, $1.92 is right there smack dab in the middle that we got based off of this fib here. I'm very confident that somewhere between $1.95 to $1.90. I feel like it's a time warp. We're back in June now, but somewhere between $1.95 to $1.90. That's where I think we're going to find support. $1.92 right there at the golden ratio. The lowest I'd give us still would be $1.80. I doubt we go below $1.80, but yeah, a little bit lower. A little bit lower is the thought there. The RSI is bearish, definitely promoting the idea that we go lower. We do have bullish divergence, but we can go lower and still uphold that bullish divergence. The MACD is bullish divergence, same kind of thought there. You know, I really wouldn't be surprised. Today is the 20th day of November. We have 7 hours and 10 minutes left. I wouldn't be surprised if sometime between now and the next 12 hours, either by the end of today, the 20th, or in the very early hours of tomorrow, the 21st, I wouldn't be surprised if we found our low. So we're going to make this plunge right now. That's my thoughts. And with that, if XRP is going to do that, let's just see how much of a drop is that. We had $1.95, we had $1.90. Let's just put it right there at $1.92. That's a 4.6% drop. Bitcoin itself, if XRP is dropping 4.6%, Bitcoin itself might drop 2% or more, which would imply then that Bitcoin sees something on the lines of a 86K price or lower. Does that make sense? Yeah. Maybe we go to 82K. We've seen it where Bitcoin drops more than XRP. Maybe we go to 82.4K. Or we hold support just below 87K, right there around 86K, right below the 2272. Bitcoin likes to do that with his 2272. Soon enough, but I theorize if I'm right with the timing of this, one of two things is going to happen. Either one, we find support here, we get a lower high, and then we try this again maybe in a couple days over the weekend or something like that. Or two, we're going to have our low, our definitive low, of which we build up and then we go to see new all-time highs and all that stuff. The low is going to happen, I think, within the next 12 hours, if I'm correct. If I'm wrong, then maybe it happens, again, just depending on how it is. You know, maybe it happens a little bit later, but if we get a bounce here first, then that would likely postpone this drop by a couple of days. So it might happen over the weekend. But I would think between the end of today, Thursday, and tomorrow, Friday, we see the low around 290 to 295, 280 at the lowest. Daily time frame here. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. Yes, you can. Okay. Daily time frame. The RSI is right at the oversold zone, an area that you do like to bounce right off of. So again, imagine we close the day here, but then tomorrow we make this push down, right? We could still come back up and close, and then that would provide a bounce right here, just like we did every other time really since, I mean, dating back really to April of this year. We're at an area to find support on the RSI. Doesn't mean that we have to find support, but statistically speaking, it's a good chance that we're not long for more downside, right? We're more prone to bounce from this area. Stochastics are bearish, pretty oversold there, and the MACD is not really helping us at all. It's bearish as well. So lower prices. Inevitably, when we do move higher, not if, but when we move higher, we can get excited when we're back above about like $2.70 or sorry, $2.55, the golden ratio there. When we start closing days and weeks above $2.55, that's when it's time to get excited for new all-time highs. I very much believe that XRP from here will see prices between $13.86 and $16.42, somewhere around $13 to $16, $13 to $17 between now and the end of January. That's the expectation. That is subject to change. If we don't see life between now and really maybe even like the midway point of December, if we don't see any life, if we're not above $3 by the end of this month, this target time frame is subject to change, right? We're expecting by the end of January. It could be by the end of December. XRP moves fast, but by the end of January, if we're not above $3 by the end of this month, like in the next 10 days, we don't see some kind of life, then maybe this target is more for the end of February or sometime later in Q1. Okay, but I would think Q1 provides this, if not potentially by the end of this year, but it just depends on what we do by now and the end of this month and really going into December. So ultimately, though, regardless of when it happens, the next target, when we break out of this area, the target we're assuming that we will achieve before you consolidate again, will be 1386 to 1642. And with that, I leave you. I got nothing else. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.